let's start with our cube. So before we draw any of these, what I highly recommend is just getting a feel for these lines. So when we start on a fresh page, we're going to draw this in the corner, a little Y, and then we're going to start with our cube here, okay? As we draw, we use pencils. I also have a little eraser, but we should get used to not using an eraser all the time as well. I'm using an HB, that's quite a generic pencil. I recommend using an HB or lower, such as 2H, rather than a thick art pencil. This just keeps our lines really, really crisp. So I'm just going to start with my lines in the corner. So here's my 6 o'clock line. Notice how my 6 o'clock line is parallel to the edge of the paper. So whenever we draw our vertical lines, in reality they stay vertical in our drawing. I'm also going to draw my 2 o'clock line. See how it's just above halfway, and then my 10 o'clock line should be exactly the same on the other side, like a mirror image. Now the first thing we need to know about our cube is that a cube has all the same length sides. So every single line we draw is going to be round about the same length. As you go, I recommend that you pause, take a moment to look at your drawing, and then recap to shorten or lengthen the lines that you need. So here I'm going to start, probably about this big, but you're welcome to try different sized cubes. And this is practice, so I recommend doing a few. So here's my 6 o'clock line. Okay, and then I'm going to draw my 2 o'clock line. So I'm just checking, is it about the same length? Yes. And I'm going to draw my 10 o'clock line as well. And I start off drawing really light because, as you know, it's very hard to erase dark lines. And also, it's just a really good habit because you might be drawing lines that you don't want in your final plan as well. Now, we've got to make sure that our lines are parallel on the same axis. So see this angle here? I'm going to do that again down here. And I'm going to join it up. So my 6 o'clock line, edge of my paper, and this line is all going to be the same. And then I'm going to do my 10 o'clock line, my 10 o'clock line, and this angle, it's the same length. Joining that up. So I noticed this line's a bit shorter, so I'm just extending that up. Okay, and then I'm going to finish with a parallel line here, 2 o'clock line. And I'm also going to do my final 10 o'clock line. Okay, now I've done this pretty quickly, and I would probably actually stop and do a slower version, but with some practice and some time, take your time, you should be able to produce quite an accurate cube. Now this is freehand sketching, which means no rulers, no straight lines to use to help, so try your best at producing your own straight lines.